third lecture. Last lecture we have finished chapter number 1 on our first book, grammar. Today we need to move to start chapter number 1 in the second part of the course, which is the interaction axis, reading and writing. So we are going to start chapter number 1, and today we are going to analyze a passage, an article from this chapter, talk about it, ask some comprehension question, then do some vocabulary definition, explain some words, and talk about some grammatical issues. Then probably we will have an exercise or some multiple choice question that can show us how such an article might be in the exam. So this is lecture number 3. It is taken from the interaction, and usually you find the symbol of the book at the top of the slide where you can know where exactly we are. So this is chapter number 1 in the book. In this lecture, we are going to study the first article, which is on page number 6 and 7. The title of this article, Monster Cities. Our study is going to include explanation of some difficult words by giving their definition. Then we are going to answer some comprehension questions, and we are also going to give some opposite of some words. We will also explain how to read numbers, and then finally we will examine some multiple choice questions about this article. So if we go to page number 6 and 7 in the book, this is chapter number 1, where you have the first article there. On page number 4, 5, and 6, you will find the whole article. So our article is on page number 5 and 6. I'm going to read this text. I have highlighted some words so that we can refer to them later on in the lecture. Monster City, are big cities wonderful places? Are they terrible? There are different ideas about this. William H. White writes books about cities. He is happy in a crowded city. He loves busy streets with many stores and many people. He likes the life in the city parks and restaurants. Many people don't like big cities. They see the large population of cities and they are afraid. Many cities are growing very fast. They are monster cities. A monster is a big, terrible thing. In some countries, there are no jobs in small towns. People go to cities to work. For example, 300,000 people go to São Paulo in Brazil every year. In China, about 183,000 people move to Beijing from the countryside every year. São Paulo and Beijing are both mega cities. A mega city is a very, very big city. It includes the main city and the cities and towns around it. Population density is the number of people in 1 square mile, which equals 2.59 square kilometer. There are big problems in mega cities. In many United States cities, there are many people with no jobs and no homes. The air is dirty. A terrible problem is a crime. Many people are afraid of a crime. People want to feel safe. So this is basically part of the article that we have in the book. We are going to study it. We talk about some vocabulary and explain some terminology and try to see some comprehension question and see what this article is mainly about. This is a simple exercise that asks us to write the definition for each of those sentences. So if you read number 1, it says, a big, terrible thing is a monster. So basically, the article talks about monster city, and when we have the word monster appearing in the passage, we have an explanation of the word monster. It is a big, terrible thing. Going back to the question that we have just had, a big, terrible thing is a monster. Second definition, a very big city together with other areas around it is called a mega city, a very big city, a huge kind of city. So this very big city with all the cities and towns with it is called mega city. Third one, the number of people in 1 square mile is what we call population density. So if we want to define population density, it is the number of people in 1 square mile. Finally, what is the definition of the word country? It is a region that is identified, that is determined, that is known as a distinct entity in political geography. So geographically speaking, this kind of place, this country is identified, is known according to certain rules and geographical facts, which we call a country. Moving to the following exercise, we have some vocabulary, some new terminology that we have identified from the article, and these are some explanation of the meaning of those words. So this is where the word is, and this is its meaning. Number one, the word wonderful. We have come across this word. If you go back in the article, this comes clearly at the very beginning of the article. Are big cities wonderful? So what does the word wonderful mean? Then we have the word terrible, the word different, crowded, etc. until we explain the whole article to understand what does it mean. So we go back to the exercise. It says explain the meaning of the following words. Wonderful, extremely good, marvelous. So those are either explanation or meaning of the word, or we can look at them as just another word, a synonym if you like. Terrible, when something is terrible, it is going to cause, or it is likely to cause terror. People will feel terrified because this is something terrible. Crowded means basically having lots of things, lots of people. It is full of whatever we are talking about, full of people, full of things, so it is very much crowded. When something or somebody or some street is crowded, it is filled to access, so there is nothing else you can add. It is very much crowded. It involves large number of people, so many people are there in this place. Busy, actively and attentively engaged in work. When someone is busy, it means he is very much involved in work. He is very active, he is attentive, he is paying lots of attention to his work or to whatever he is or she is doing. Afraid, feeling fear, filled with apprehension, so basically afraid. Population is the total number of persons inhabiting a country or a city or any district. A mega city, the word that we have been talking about in the previous slide, mega city is a very large city, especially one with a huge number of people. A place or a district or a country which is basically have large number of people, huge number of people. So we have the word and we have the definition of the word. Well, probably most of the words are clear to you in Arabic. Wonderful, رائع, probably. Terrible, بغيض, crowded, مزدحم, busy, مشغول, afraid, خائف, population, كثافة السكانية, عدد السكان. ميجا سيتي هي المدينة الضخمة بسبب عدد السكان فيها. Moving to the second exercise where we have the word and we need to give the opposite of this word, the antonym, exactly the opposite meaning of the word that we have. So the question says, give the opposite of the following words. What do we have here? We have the word and we have their opposite. Look at the first column. Wonderful again, terrible, different, crowded, busy, afraid, large, safe, and dirty. Let's start with the first one. When we have something that is wonderful and we are looking for the opposite of the meaning of being wonderful, bad and amazing, that is not really wonderful. Terrible, when something is terrible, causing people to fear terror or to feel terror. The opposite meaning is when we have something that is pleasing, that it pleases people. Of course, different, similar, مختلف, متشابه. Crowded, deserted or empty. Crowded means مزدحم. Deserted مهجور. Empty خالي من الناس, فارغ if you like. Busy مشغول, again. Quiet, that is هادئ in a way or another. Inactive غير فعال, غير نشيط, etc. Large and small, clear opposite probably. Large ضخم كبير, while small is probably small صغير. Safe and unsafe. When something is safe in the sense of آمن, so there is nothing that you feel afraid of. Dirty and clean. Dirty متسخ, clean نظيف. So those are some of the opposites that we have as a new vocabulary in this new article that we have been reading. Let's move to the following passage. This is another exercise which teaches us how to read numbers, and especially if those numbers are long or if they consist of more than one digit. So basically we have tens, probably hundreds, thousands, millions, and so on and so forth. So let's look. So we have the number here, and there is how to read this number in English. So for example, if we have the number 150, we can simply say it is 150. So this is how we write down the number rather than just say them or write them down. 200. 200. Pay attention, we don't add an S to the digit here when it is written. 3,000. 3,000 without an S. 3,000. That is 400 or 4,000. That is 4,500. So 4,500. 5,350. 5,350. How about the following one? That is 6,475. So we have 4-digit number. So 6,475. 6,475. 70,000. 70,000. So all those are examples of a number that consists of either 3-digit, 4-digit, 5-digit, depending on what exact number you have. And this is just the same way of saying this number, but in written form or in writing. Here we even have a little bit larger number, so we have 80,950. 80,950. 100,000. 100,000. 950. 632. So what do we have here? So we have 950,000 and 632. So 950,000 and 632. What about this number? That is 1. Then we have 6 zeros. That is 1 million. 15,700,000. 15,700,000. 23,570,000 and 600. Again, 23,570,000 and 600. So as you can see, we start with the largest number. So we see whether we have a 1-digit number, 2-digit number. Those can be read easily. If it is probably a 4-digit number, we start with 1,000. If it is 5, we start with the ones of 1,000. Then we move to larger numbers and so on and so forth. These are some sample exam questions that we might think of as multiple choice questions applicable to the essay that we have read at the beginning of this lecture. So imagine that we have the lecture, we have the essay in front of us, we have read it, and we have gone through some difficult vocabulary, we have explained the meaning. Now let's read the first question. It says, in mega city there are many people with no homes. So if we go back, if you still remember, the article says that people, because it is there is a large number of job opportunities in cities, people would go to those cities. So basically in mega city, there are people with no jobs. So when there is large number of those cities, people probably will lose their jobs. It is very much difficult for them to buy homes. So clearly the right answer is that there might be no jobs and no homes for some people in the mega city. Look at the second question. The article of monster city is about what? Is it about the large number of small cities, the number of people in the United States of America, or is it about the problems of very big city? Truly, this is an article that talks about the problem in some big cities or mega cities where people cannot really find jobs easily. They may not have homes. It is very much a crowded city and so on and so forth. So the article is mainly about the problems of big cities. William H. White likes the life in city parks and restaurants. This is what we have seen in the first paragraph of the article. Moving to the following question, question number 4. A terrible problem in monster city is a crime. So people would always feel afraid that there might have been a crime or a crime might happen. So basically they are not safe. William H. White writes books about cities. So this is the author that we have cited at the beginning of the article, that William H. White writes books about cities. What about question number 13? It says the underlined word, the word population, means what? Is it the number of children? Is it the number of male? Is it the number of females? Is it the number of both males and females? Clearly, when we say population, تعداد السكاني, the number of people which include male and female. So we are talking about the number of male and female. Again, question number 8. In mega cities, people want to feel safe, or eat well, or be healthy, be wealthy. Clearly, according to the article, people want to feel safe. They feel they are probably afraid of a crime, or they have a feeling that they are unsafe, and so on and so forth. In all mega cities, people are afraid of a crime. We have a question that is similar to that, but in all mega cities, because it is unsafe, people are always afraid that there might be a crime. The air is dirty. The word dirty means clean, not a clean, beautiful, wonderful. That's an easy question. So when something is dirty, it means it is not clean. Let's look at this group of questions. The definition of the word megacity is very, very small city, very, very big city, very, very colorful city, very, very beautiful city. Clearly, when we talk about mega cities, we talk about a huge, very big kind of city. So the answer is P, very, very big cities. What is the number of people living in a particular country? Well, we are talking about the population, the number of people. Monster, mega city, capital? No, the answer is population. Number 16, Sao Paulo and Beijing are both towns, mega cities, small cities, or villages. Well, according to the article we have been through, Sao Paulo and Beijing is clearly mega cities, very huge cities. Okay, so this is an example of an article that we have taken from our interaction access book. This is the first chapter where we have gone through the first article, which is about monster city. We have looked at some vocabulary, we explained some words, and we have also given some opposite meanings. We have learned how to read numbers, specifically large numbers, and we have gone through some exercises or multiple choice questions that could be applicable to this. We are going to spend 2 lectures on this chapter, so next lecture is also going to be from this book, and then we move to grammar again. Okay, so this is the end of lecture number 3. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.